Good morning. You are listening to UpReach. Now, after the Sabbath, as the first day of the week began to dawn, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to see the tomb. And behold, there was a great earthquake. For an angel of the Lord descended from heaven, and came and rolled back the stone from the door, and sat on it. His countenance was like lightning, and his clothing as white as snow. And the guards shook for fear of him, and became like dead men. But the angel answered and said to the women, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you seek Jesus who was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen, as he said. Come see the place where the Lord lay, and go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead." Matthew chapter 28, verses 1 through 7. It is one of the strange things in the world that people tend to think of this amazing event of the resurrection of Jesus only at Easter time. It is at Easter time almost alone that many consciously think of the resurrection and of the life to come. It is at Easter time almost alone that many sing hymns that focus on the resurrection. This is so wrong. I think that we sometimes forget the origin of Sunday, the Lord's Day. The Sabbath, the Jewish holy day, commemorated the rest of God after the labor of the 6 days of creation. But Sunday, the Lord's Day, commemorates the resurrection of our Lord, for it was on that day that he rose from the dead. In the early church, the resurrection was the central event. The resurrection was the one glorious fact on which all worship and all life were founded. To that centrality of the resurrection, we would do well to return continually, for several reasons. First, it is our faith in the risen and living Lord which makes us able to meet life. For if we believe that Jesus Christ is risen and living, then we must believe that all life is lived in his presence, that we are literally never alone, that we are called upon to make no effort, to endure no sorrow, to face no temptation without him. Second, it is our faith in the risen and living Lord which makes us able to meet death. We believe that we have a friend and a companion who lived and who died and who is alive forevermore, who is the conqueror of death. His presence, which is with us in life, is also with us in death and beyond. I once read a writer telling how his father died. His father was old and ill. One morning he went up to his father's bedside to waken him. The old man said, "Pull up the blinds so that I can see the morning light." The son pulled up the blinds, and even as the light entered the room, the old man sank back on his pillows, dead. Death was the coming of the morning light. The resurrection should be in our thoughts not simply at a certain season of the year. It ought to be the faith in which Christians daily live, and in which in the end they die, only to live again. What about you today? Are you prepared to think about and focus on the glory of the resurrection of Jesus today, and on the promise it holds for your eternal future? Are you prepared to live with him today, and to die with him when your time comes? This has been UpReach, a presentation of the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I am Kyle Bolton, the pulpit minister at Church Street, and I would like to personally invite you to come and share times of Bible study and worship with us each week. We meet every Sunday at 9 o'clock a.m. for our morning worship, followed by our Sunday school for all ages at 10:15 a.m. Then we meet again at 6 o'clock p.m. for our evening worship. We also have a midweek meeting for devotion and Bible study on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. As we experience this holiday season, it is my prayer that you and your family will be safe as you travel, that God will bless you with some wonderful times of fellowship with family and friends, and that God will use you in a personal way to bless the life of another. Then, as this holiday season concludes and life gets back into a familiar routine, please remember that every day is about Jesus. If we at the Church Street Church of Christ can help lead you to know more about him, not just about his miraculous birth, but also about his life, his amazing resurrection, and his promise to one day come again to reward those who are faithful to him each day, please call on any of us at the Church Street Church of Christ at 359-3597. We are willing to help you in your walk with God at any time, day or night, for there is no other relationship as vital as this one, because this is the only relationship you will ever have that has eternal consequences.